Hello YouTube, welcome back. Chris here. Today I want to talk to you about my emergency repair kit. This is my small toolbox that I bring with me when I go either mountain biking somewhere or road biking or across, whatever it may be, but I'm on the road and I might need stuff. So I keep this in my car for emergencies and repairs, and it carries pretty much everything I need for all those kinds of riding. It's a nice small box. You can pick these up at pretty much any store. This is just a Stanley toolbox. I stickered it up and made it look kind of fancy, but it's really just a basic toolbox. You can also use a small tackle box. Got smaller compartments up top, and then in the main body, it's got a tray and a base for bigger stuff. We'll go through what I keep in here and see if maybe you have some suggestions, or maybe you can get some ideas from this for a toolbox of your own. We'll start up top here. In these guys, I carry mostly small hardware. This is an extra derailleur hanger for my cyclocross bike, which is mostly what I ride and race. Nuts and bolts, extra stuff, chain ring bolts here. Also keep a lot of ferrules, cable ends, and bar plugs. Never know when you need a bar plug if one falls out. UCI Racing won't allow you to race without a bar plug. In the other side here, this is actually getting low. I need to refill my safety pins, but as any racer knows, you always need safety pins. So if the race runs out of them, you have at your own and never rely on them. And this is kind of interesting. I actually keep shoe parts in here. These buckles from my Northwave shoes. I use these, on my shoes obviously, but every now and then I break one, so I usually keep an extra. And this is the part that goes in the buckle. I use Crank Brothers cleats. Or Crank Brothers pedals, so I keep a spare set of Crank Brothers cleats on there. And I also have some SPDs in here, not really for me because I don't use these, but if I have a friend who needs one, I've always got an SPD to loan them. Never know when a cleat will come loose and fall off. In the main compartment here, bigger tools, I got a full set of long handle ball end Allen wrenches, Master Link pliers, rotor truer, Park Tool PW5 pedal wrench, Phillips and standard screwdrivers, a couple miscellaneous tire levers. I do keep a full set of cone wrenches in here. Well, not a full set, but 13 through 19. I don't necessarily use them just for cones. I use them just as regular wrenches, but they're really thin, so they fit well in the toolbox instead of carrying a regular set of box end wrenches. A couple freewheel tools. I got a Shimano SRAM tool and a Campy tool there. Three-way Allen wrench. This one's not my favorite that I own, but it's nice because it's small, so it fits well in this box. I got these little wrenches here. This is one's going to be a 9 and 11. One's going to be an 8 and a 10. And then a three-way spoke wrench. This is a cheaper one from a company called BBB, but this is similar to your Park Tool SW 7.2, where it's got a 3.2, 3.3, and 3.5 sides, so you can do just about any spoke with this one tool. If we go on the bottom here, always got to have a couple bottles of stands just to top off a wheel, or if you get a puncture. Wet lube, finish line, needle nose pliers, cable cutter, extra cables, both brake for my road bike and shift for any of my bikes. I keep an extra chain. I typically run a SRAM Red 11 speed on my current bike, so I keep an extra SRAM Red 11 speed chain, gear scrubbing brush, adjustable wrench. This is what I would use with those freewheel tool or cassette tools in the top. This is going to be my chain tool. I use the adjustable that'll do pretty much any chain. This is a CT 3.2. Metric tape measure from Park Tool for saddle heights or just measuring out a frame for any reason. A little extra lube, this small, so I threw in here. Packets of chamois cream. You never know when you're going to need chamois cream. If you forget to bring it, at least it's in your toolkit. A little bit of Loctite. Don't know if I really use that, but it was small, so I throw it in. Zip ties. Always need zip ties if you have a hydraulic hose that comes loose, or really for jerry rigging anything together on a bike. You can always use zip ties. There's another cassette tool with the handle on it. I like this one because it's all in one, so real easy to use for Shimano and SRAM. I got a couple of brake blocks if I have to pull out pads or a wheel, so I don't mess up my hydraulic pistons and get them compressed. I do keep a long T-handle 5mm Allen wrench in here. I use that a lot, one of my favorite tools, so I just keep one here even though it's a little bigger tool. A couple tubes. Right now I've got a 29er tube in here and a road tube that will also work for cross if I need it to. It'll stretch a little bit, but probably not ideal, but a little smaller than a cross tube. Got a chain whip, and I've got a ruler and spoke measurer here. Don't necessarily need this in here, but it's easy to fit, and I had an extra, so I just throw it in because it doesn't take up any real additional room. I just did notice in putting this video together, I am missing a couple things that I would normally have in here. I normally do keep a set of folding Torx keys, and I normally keep my shock pump in the bottom, which I had left out. So those two tools I would add to this as well. But overall, that's about everything I carry, and will do just about probably 80-90% of the jobs you need on a bike that you would need on the trailhead or in a race. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you would suggest that I add. Oh, I also forgot I do normally have a knife in there, and I don't have a knife in there right now, so I'm going to add one of those too. But anything else you think, or maybe you have your own box you'd like to share with me, you can link that below. And if not, always open to suggestions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.